Hello, Disney friends, and welcome back to another This Week at Walt Disney World. It is May the 28th, 2025. I am Sam from Sam's Disney Diary, and that, my friend, is the blue-haired blogger himself from Fantasyland News, Greg. It is a huge week at Walt Disney World. Tell me what we got today.
Dude, the news does not stop. My legs are tired. That's how much news there is, and I'm never tired. Man, we're going to start off. We got breaking news about Disney Starlight that was dropped last night around this time. So we're going to talk some Disney Starlight. We got Cool Kids Summer. We got Memorial Day. We got Magic Kingdom news. We got Cool Ship, Astro Orbiter, Elio, trash can merch. Everybody loves some trash can merch, don't we? Galactic Blast over there, Big Top Bash. We have new guides that were released. We're going to hop over to my new favorite thing called Goofy Core Hall, which sounds like the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones sing Disney songs. It's perfect. I love the wording Goofy Core Hall. Then we're going to go over to Hollywood Studios and talk about Cool Kids Get Animated, the villains, Disney villains, Unfairly Ever After, which, by the way, we got to put the merch in here. That's what we were missing.
Yes, when you were talking about merch,
Little Mermaid stuff, and then of course we got my popcorn bucket minute because man, there is some popcorn buckets dropping right now, and of course we end it as we do every week for the past 40 weeks with our Muppet Magnet of the Week, my friend.
Muppet Magnet of the Week's coming. All that and more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute. All right, friends, thanks so much for being with us. Greg, there's a lot going on, so let's jump right into it because after I created our image that we put out there on Facebook and we got all this cool stuff from Cool Kids Summer, big news dropped last night, and it has to do with, and by the way, hello to everybody out there. The big news has to do with the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away Parade. We've been waiting for this news.
Yeah.
And Greg, we got not only the date that this is going to open, but a look at the finale float that we haven't seen yet. We know this is coming July the 20th, 2025. Tell me what you know about this.
There you go. July 20th, 2025. Let's go over a little bit of it. So we got that final float. Which,
we did.
If you ask me,
Lily, by the way,
looks absolutely amazing.
It looks fantastic.
I mean, Mickey and Minnie are on there. We have Aladdin and Jasmine, Rapunzel and Flynn. Who else is it? Hold on, I have the whole list of here.
Donald and
Snow White with Dopey,
Snow White and Dopey,
Pluto, Goofy. We now know the parade layout is actually going to go, my friend. Drum roll. It is the Blue Fairy, followed by with Peter Pan and Wendy, Asha's float, The Familia Madrigal, Elsa will be on there. Aurora and Prince Philip with Tiana and Prince Naveen, Belle and the Beast and Cinderella and Prince Charming on one float.
Yep.
Miguel and Pepita on the Coco float, followed
Yep.
by the Moana float, and finally it'll end with the Goofy, Donald, Mickey Mouse main float at the end. But speaking of that one, we also don't know what's going on in between the floats. This is
Yes.
a nighttime parade. Sam, you and I both know that they're going to have a lot of stuff in between it, and we don't know if characters are going to be out there, if they're going to have little snails that you drive on.
I'm at least expecting, like Festival of Fantasy, some type of a parade ensemble leading into this that ties into the parade that's all lit up. I'm at least expecting that.
Also got was a new look at Mickey and Minnie and the characters' outfits, which I think are amazing. Not only are they shimmering with lights themselves, but Mickey and Minnie are in this blue and silver or platinum look. Minnie's bow has this beautiful star on there. Goofy's hat is enormous.
Yes.
We got so much. I think we know almost everything about this. July 20th, 2025. And I'm going to update. I'm going to update one thing real quick.
Yes.
Annual pass holder reservations. It's very important to understand.
I saw that you blogged about this. What did you learn?
Starting July 20th, if you are a Disney World annual pass holder, you must hold a reservation for the park for that day if you want to go into Magic Kingdom and see this parade. Prior to this change on July 20th, it's like if there's a good to go day, you don't need a reservation. If it's Monday through Friday, you don't need a reservation after 2 p.m. unless it's Saturday or Sunday to go into the Magic Kingdom. Yes. All other parks, you could go in after 2 at any time. That is going away July 20th. You must have a park reservation, a theme park reservation to go into the Magic Kingdom to see the parade starting July. And it's limited time. We have questions about it. It doesn't say specifically you must have a Magic Kingdom park reservation. It just says you need a theme park reservation to enter the Magic Kingdom at nighttime.
Well, I am reading that slightly differently because what I read, Greg, is you cannot resort hop into the Magic Kingdom after 2. You have to have a Magic Kingdom park reservation. What they are doing is making sure that not everybody leaves every park to go over the Magic Kingdom to watch this parade when it first debuts. Make sure you get the reservation. I will say that July the 20th is available right now for Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I already have my reservation. Man, I had my reservations within 5 minutes of this dropping.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, I know where I'm going to be on July 20th. I will be on Main Street, USA.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait. This is
the
first time we get a nighttime parade down Main Street, USA since October 9th, 2016 at the Magic Kingdom.
I would not have guessed that year. It's definitely been quite some time.
Yeah. So you want to know the last parade that went?
The last parade, it was Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yep, that's what it was. 2016,
Absolutely.
It ended. Yes. And before that, Spectro Magic.
It was the final one of the last see it before it's gone, before they did that a couple of more times. But that's what it was.
There you go. See, reservations right now. Get them.
Yep. Get them.
I'm out of reservations, man.
Of course you are, because you need one just about every day. Let's move on, because there were some things happening yesterday, and we got some images from a friend of ours, from Michelle over at Main Street Mouse.
I want to make sure we say thank you to Michelle at the Main Street Mouse, who not only did Disney Parks blog put up images, but she put up images, and I was just like, Michelle, can I borrow them? And she said, absolutely, take anything you want. So I will give Michelle at the Main Street Mouse full credit for these images, because she was one of the.
This is the merchandise, which features Mickey, Disney Starlight. Love the image. We got
the ears light up.
Things you would expect.
Yeah.
Oh, the ears light up. Minnie Mouse ears. It appears.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I love in the background. It almost looks like you brought it up. It almost looks like a popcorn bucket back there. That is too tall. It's to show off Mickey's new outfit.
It is, but it looks like the talking popcorn bucket from Disneyland that we speculated about. Now, I am going out on a limb here, Greg, because they do have some light up hands, a wand of sorts that's interactive. Yeah. But I'm going out and saying, I think on the bottom of it is a reserve for Bubbles, and this is a bubble wand than a addition to
I
being. But
don't know,
we'll
man.
wait and
I
see.
think,
I'm
well,
telling
you
you,
and
I
I
think it
may
is.
have differing opinion, but it very well could be. It's
I'm thinking
Disney,
that it
man.
is. I just looking at that, it
One
looks
thing
like the
they
very
sell a
bottom
lot
of
of
that
is
twists off of
bubble
there and
wands.
goes. That's exactly right. Disney also shared a video of some of the parade floats. Let me hop to that so we can
Yeah,
just
and
take
some
a
of the
look.
music. That's
And
what I
some of the
thought is
music.
look how pretty that looks. That's gonna look amazing.
It is absolutely going to look amazing.
Yeah.
This is the evolution of the Main Street Electrical Parade. That's really is what it looks like. Just a glimpse into some of the music.
So I hope the guests
Disney Live Entertainment. Can we just give them credit right now for such
Yeah.
an amazing job they've done this year? Because between opening 2 shows at the parks, opening a parade here at Magic King, a nighttime parade, a brand new nighttime parade, plus they were doing all that stuff at Disneyland and putting all that stuff together. Those guys
Of
are
course.
working overtime and doing
Absolutely.
such an amazing job.
There's a ton of things happening, that's for certain.
Yeah. So there's our opening. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
That is
There
breaking
is
news.
it is breaking news, so that trumped everything, but it's good, it's great. Memorial Day weekend, there was a movie that came out. I'm gonna assume that you saw this.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
Lilo and Stitch, live
We'll talk
action.
about how amazing it did at the box
Well, let's
office.
talk about that. And Lily, we completely agree. We cannot wait to see this parade. It's going to be the best.
If I already have reservations, I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, you didn't want to get left out. I get it. It's all good. Lilo and Stitch crushed the box office weekend for Memorial Day, setting a record for a Memorial Day weekend at 145 million domestic. That's the record. You got to be careful how you word things when you're talking a record, right?
You can get the record, but you got to word it correctly.
You got to word it correctly. So it's domestic box office for Memorial Day weekend. That's what it did best. So Lilo and Stitch 2025 for live action. Greg, I wanted to go back and see how this ranked in the opening weekends of other Disney live actions. And this comes in third behind The Lion King from 19 and Beauty and the Beast from 17. Both of those did pretty phenomenal. Both of those ended up with over $1 billion. Lion King with 1.66 and Beauty and the Beast with 1.26. So the expectations are pretty high for what Lilo and Stitch can bring
look,
in.
it did the best Tuesday ever, 15 million on a Tuesday. So
that's pretty darn good. I mean, the movie's done great. Does it change the way? Well, let's look at the rest of the list here because these are the top 3: Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Lilo and Stitch. I wanted to throw up the rest to round up the top 10 and seeing The Jungle Book, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Maleficent, Cinderella, and Dumbo. That rounds out the top 10. And in number 11, which I guess is respectable, Snow White, which was earlier this year.
It's still $204 million. It still made its money back.
Worldwide, 204 million. But it did 43 on its opening, and that's the difference between The Jungle Book and Lilo and Stitch for third and fourth place. But anyway, it's a tale of two worlds.
That's a great way of putting it. It is a tale of two worlds.
It is, because Snow White had some controversy surrounding it and some tailwinds. Lilo and Stitch was originally slated to be Disney Plus, but then it got such great reviews they decided to go to theaters, and clearly it was a good move for Disney. And if you saw Lilo and Stitch, let us know what you think.
Yeah,
I have not seen it.
I don't know who reviewed it, but man, they were wrong.
I will just leave it at that. I have not seen it. I have no opinion. I did not see Lilo and Stitch, the original, in theaters.
Look, I saw Snow White. I love Snow White. I hated Dumbo. Cinderella, still great. Maleficent, great. Aladdin, could care less. I love The Little Mermaid. I'm an Alice in Wonderland fan. Jungle Book, if Bill Murray wasn't in it, it'd be great. Beauty and the Beast, great. The Lion King, could have done without. But I'll tell you what, this Lilo and Stitch should be down at the bottom. And that's the end of mine. I'm done.
Okay, that's it. I did do a blog over at Sam's Disney Diary that I just posted.
Which, by the way, and I want to put this out, Sam. I want to put this out, and you and I both know this from Disney. Of course, it was going to do massive.
Yes,
Stitch sells more merch than any other character for Disney. It is a moneymaker. It has become defined for a generation. This character is what Mickey Mouse was for 20, 30, 40 years, right? So
Yeah, there are
nowadays
people that buy
it's on
everything this
stick.
guy's on.
So you are looking at this has hit an audience. It has hit a nerve with the crowd. It's going to do massive no matter what. And congratulate. Look, I'm happy when Disney does good. It just means we still have jobs. Like, I'm never going to root against him ever.
No, absolutely not. It's a great move. It's awesome. Domestic box office. Let's get out of the box office and let's jump into the parks, Greg, because it was the Cool Kids Summer. Cool Kids Summer kicked off. You got over to Main Street USA. Of course,
Yeah.
it was decked out for the
Yeah,
town
can I
square
say there was nothing cool about Cool Kids Summer? It was
because
so
of the
hot,
weather.
man. 100 degrees, pure sunshine, no breeze. It was
I am
slog
going to
through the
be
park
honest and
yesterday.
say, being up north, the
Yeah.
weather has not been. The Memorial Day weekend was not as nice as we would have wanted. It
I
was
heard.
rainy, about 65 degrees where I am. Not
Did you get
Memorial
the
Day weekend was
fire
a little
going?
early, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, the furnaces came on in a lot of households in Pennsylvania this past weekend. I know that's
Oh.
hard. That's hard for you to fathom being in 100-degree weather, but
Yeah, I would take that weather, Sam, right now. That give me a fire that I could cook a hot dog or a marshmallow on. Nice cold beer. Come on, man. Sam, you and I could stay out there and burn your leg for
I
you.
get it. No, yeah, you're exactly right.
I got to move the
So
wheelchair.
Town Square clearly decorated for Memorial Day.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
It
really
looked-
all the decorations they do. It's kind of the same 4th of July stuff, right?
Yeah, it's and that's fine. Look, it's Americana in the parks. They have specific things that they do for 4th of July, Memorial Day. Their big announcement was that the George W. Bush exhibit at Epcot is going to remain until 2026.
Okay.
They take Memorial Day for what Memorial Day's purpose is for the military. It's a day of remembrance. So Disney
Yes.
doesn't go crazy. They don't do hoopla surrounding it. And
And
good
that's
for
the way it's
them.
supposed to be.
The rest of
That's the way it's
us,
supposed to be.
Memorial Day is, if you don't have military members in your family, it's the start of summer, right? So
Yes.
that's what you're kind of celebrating. If you have military family members, you are remembering all the sacrifices.
That's exactly right. And Lily's been cold where she is too. I'm sure Michigan is just as bad as Pennsylvania. It's
Yeah.
not fun. So awesome for Disney Memorial Day. That's great. There's a touch of decorations in remembrance, and I'm good with that. Let's head back to Tomorrowland, Greg, because you noticed something back there. The Astro Orbiter is starting to be reassembled. It's not there yet, but it's starting to come back.
No,
Yes.
it's starting to come back. They're putting the planets back up. The Oray's going back up. The ships are actually up there, ready to be installed. I actually got to see them from up high.
Oh, very
So
cool.
yeah, this is going to be opening, I would imagine, in under a month. By the time Starlight opens, I think a lot of stuff at Magic Kingdom's going to be open again. Obviously, not Big Thunder Mountain. That's down for a while. But
Right.
speaking of Big Thunder Mountain, not to be
Yeah.
off topic, they
That's
laid
okay.
their final piece of brand new track today.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, big ceremony and
cool.
everything. Yeah.
Same track layout, nothing changed that you can tell.
It's brand new track. Like it's just
brand new track, but it didn't change.
and you
the
can't
layout or
see
deal.
the whole thing from outside, so we can't really say. But yeah,
All right.
new track.
Cool. All right, so that's happening in Tomorrowland. Also in Tomorrowland, if you're familiar with the Cool Ship or the Thirsty Ranger, the popcorn / cold drink location in Tomorrowland that's been there for
Slash
quite some time.
Mister.
There's a couple. Say that again.
/ Mister.
Yes, / Mister. That, if you're familiar with it, is gone. So what's happening?
We mourn you, Cool Ship.
Cool
I
Ship's
don't.
gone.
So the only thing we know for sure is Cool Ship has been announced as under refurbishment for the time being.
Okay.
I've never look, last time Cool Ships was down, all it was down, and they refurbished it. They removed
It's
the
gone.
whole
So
thing.
this is not the DVC location. That's still there,
No.
right?
No, that is still there. This is Cool Ship, and the you would go underneath the ship. Now that ship has a lot of history. That red ship you see was actually the prop from the film Flight of the Navigator from 1986, I believe.
Okay.
and it used to sit in the backlot tour for many years, and then they
Got it.
repurposed it, fixed it up, and brought it over as the Thirst Ranger. And it mists people now.
Yes.
Um,
Well, it
I
did.
I want to know what a Thirst Ranger is. But
Sure. It
yeah.
sounds
So
good.
yeah, I mean, look, it's
And
the popcorn stand. Across the way, they have a temporary setup, so it's not like
okay,
you can't find popcorn and soda at the park.
well,
Still
something's
available.
going
It's
on there.
just weird not seeing that ship in Tomorrowland.
Yes, I would say the same if I went through. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Time will tell if that comes back or not.
It should be coming back. There should be no issues. It's just a temporary, hey, it's down for just like they did with Astro Orbiter. It's
Mhm.
probably easier to remove the whole thing and then put it back.
You got it. All right, let's turn around a little bit because not far from this is part of Cool Kids Summer. And the first thing we'll
Yeah.
talk about, this is the Ilio Guide to an Intergalactic Adventure. This is inside of Merchants of Venus, right?
That is inside Merchants of Venus or Merchant
Uh,
of Venus.
Merchants, yep, not merchants. And this is essentially a promotion for the new movie, photo
Yeah,
opportunity.
they have little cards that you got, a little scavenger hunt type thing. You can get your card punched at the end and you get beamed up into space. It's cute. Ilio is due in theaters, I want to say June
Yeah, it's in June,
20.
right? Yeah,
Oh,
about a month from now.
yeah.
Around a month
Yeah.
from now.
Yeah, about a month from now, and it's the next, like, look, we're going boom, 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 Disney movies all year,
Disney movie. Well,
and
this
there's
is
some
Pixar's
massive ones.
foray into that
Yeah.
list of boom, boom, boom Disney
Yep.
movies.
And this is the Pixar version. This is Ilio, and his little guy friend with him is Glorden.
Okay.
Glorden's all mouth
Yeah, he
and
appears to
teeth.
be a popcorn bucket. We'll see, get to him in a
Yeah,
little
we'll get
later
to him in a
today.
minute. Yeah.
Now, attached to Merchants of Venus is, I'm forgetting the name of
Anti-gravities.
Anti-Gravities has, of course, an Ilio float, which matches right into the Ilio next door. They also have a Surfing Stitch float because we're not far from Stitch's Galactic Celebration. We'll get to that in just a second. The
Yeah.
Astro Shake is still available, and they still have a churro.
Yeah, they certainly do. That Ilio float, I actually want to try that. We just didn't. I think by the time I tried it yesterday, it would have melted by the time I made it like 4 steps.
I understand.
Still, that and the
So the
Surfing Stitch
Ilio
look
float
great.
is a Sprite float with
Yeah.
purple shimmer and fruit-flavored boba, topped with vanilla soft serve, gold star sparkles, and blue raspberry sour
Dude,
straw.
I'm sorry. If you add the word glimmer or sparkle, I'm done. After the 50th anniversary and
Or
everything had
shimmer.
iridescence, I'm good.
Well, it's shimmer, and I was wondering if purple shimmer was the same as I'm
I
not
would
sure.
imagine purple shimmer is just another word for iridescent.
That's it. Very well could be. Now, I do want to say, since we went
Means
through
I'm drinking glitter.
the Stitch float, dude, is Dole Whip pineapple with Powerade Mountain Berry Blast with chocolate decorations. It looks like a white chocolate Lilo and Stitch on top on a surfboard.
That's what it is.
So it's Dole Whip with berry Powerade. That's interesting. Pineapple Dole Whip. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I
You
would try
kids these days and your taste buds.
your Dole Whip, but it's Dole Whip in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, of course it's Dole Whip in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, is that good? Is that garbage? As I transition to the garbage.
Look
Can
at you.
side?
Look at you with the segue. That is good. I like that segue.
So where
man,
we
let's
talked
talk-
about
let's
these,
talk
they
trash
showed up.
cans. Let's talk
Yes.
trash on Disney.
So these showed up. We talked about them last week being coming soon. This is in
Yeah.
the confectionery. Is that where you found the Main Street?
Yeah,
trash
Main Street
can?
Confectionery. They're also at Goofy's Candy Kitchen at Disney
At Springs.
Springs. And then they're at Sir Rouge's Sweet Shop in Animal Kingdom. And that's it.
Okay, and you fill this up with basically the loose M&Ms and loose candies. Is
Yeah,
that
so
what
you
goes
have
into
to
this?
buy at least half a pound of candy to be able to purchase this. So the candy is like $15.99 a pound. So you're looking
Okay.
at like this is $14 and then another $7.50 for the candy. So reasonable. I mean, that's Disney prices, but you end
It
up with
is.
a half a pound of candy, man.
How big would you say this compared to the standard popcorn bucket?
I'd say it's about the size of a mini trash can.
How is it if you sat this right next to you know what we need, Greg? Banana for scale. I'm just saying. Banana for scale.
So
You're gonna drop
if one of us had a banana, I would say the trash can is about the size of the banana for scale.
okay. That perfect. So it's about 7 inches. Thank you
It's
very
about
much.
7.5 inches. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, back to Tomorrowland. Stitches Tomorrowland Galactic Blast. Although it doesn't say Stitches Galactic Blast, it's just the Tomorrowland Galactic Blast. But
Yeah.
this is Stitch running around on the
Yeah,
Tomorrowland
but if
Plaza,
you remember, the
Rocketeer
Galactic
Plaza.
Blast kind of has been there a few years ago. It was always a party at Tomorrowland stage for kids to
Dance
dance,
party.
and they would have music, and that's exact. So during the day, they have this going on, and kids can limbo under surfboards. They have beach balls. They have like a volleyball type game that they're playing. This is for kids to just get some energy out, hang out, and
Yeah,
then Stitch comes out and parties with everybody.
that's cool. Were there any other characters here, or was this just
No,
Stitch?
this is absolutely 100% just Stitch.
Okay. Stitches, Tomorrowland Galactic Blast. Now, if you want more
Yeah.
characters, I understand that if you head back to Big Top Bash back in Storybook Circus, there's a lot of things happening back there.
Yeah, they got you got to see the cutout that we did, the picture. They have a giant like 4-person image that you can get. It's pretty cool. But they have a lot jugglers, stilt walkers, dancers, DJ, Pluto.
Pluto, among others. There you go. There's some of the jugglers, the jumping jacks, as I know that particular group of people. But this is back
Yeah.
in Storybook Circus, so this is cool.
That is
Part of Cool
Storybook
Kids Summer.
Circus, and that starts at 10 a.m. and goes until 6 or 7 p.m., I believe.
Okay.
And then Stitch starts at 11 a.m. So yeah, this is going all day, and they you see all those bubbles? That
I
man
do.
is what's going on back there. There is bubbles everywhere, and Pluto's there. There's little games. There is cast members. The characters just don't stop over there, and it's you can of course meet what is it? Daisy, Minnie, Goofy, and
Right there at the
Donald.
Big Top.
Yeah.
At the Big
And then,
Top.
of course, man, you walk in that back area and it smells like cotton candy and caramel apples.
Well, it smells like smell-a-fence.
Yeah. I
Right?
love that. I mean, yeah, it was so relaxing back there. And then you could watch the kids just kind of chilling out. And man, I mean, what do you want your kid to do? You want them to run around all day and get that energy out because, yeah, they get tiring.
Was there some Christmas music happening back there?
Yes, they were playing the Mariah Carey Christmas song. And I
Okay,
didn't
it's
understand.
not
I was just
July.
like,
It's not
that
Christmas in
made no
July.
sense. But hey, I'm
doesn't.
not a DJ, nor do I play one on TV.
Yeah, I get you there. One of the interesting things I noticed, Greg, I want to say it's been a little while since there was at Epcot during one of the festivals, they introduced a kids' activity book. Just a little book, kind of the size of a festival guide that gave kids some activities.
Yeah,
And
Food and
now
Wine
for
last year, you and I noticed that.
yes, so for Cool Kids Summer, they have one of these activity books for each of the 4 parks, and I really kind of like these. Are you reaching for one because you have one? Maybe.
Yes, I was I was reaching for one because I have
I
one.
thought that you might be.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is one from the Magic Kingdom.
And it is kid size,
Yes, love it.
and it's great.
I absolutely
I don't know,
love
my
it. I got
kids, like if it was for my kids, ma'am, Sam, so my kids loved holding on to maps.
yes,
They wanted to
exactly.
feel like they were and look, sometimes we would tell them where to go, and it was like, yeah, it was
I'm
good.
with you. And this particular, well, the one that you're holding is Magic Kingdom. I have an image of Hollywood Studios. I love that there's a list of all of the character experiences, where you can find them. Animation Courtyard, which by the way, I see 15 different characters there in Animation Courtyard. We'll get there in a minute. A scavenger hunt, like dance with the Disney pal, take a picture with the dinosaur, and they clearly have, hey, Gertie's over here. Go find him, talk to a droid, find a toy in Andy's backyard. I love that. There's also tips for adults. Essential for little ones, kind of a hint to say, hey, did you know there's a baby care center? And here's where it is, and these are the things you can get in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. I like that.
The
And of
scavenger
course,
hunt
a
thing
nice
is cool.
colorful map.
Also, if you stop by not guest services, Disney Disney Photo Pass Studio in front of each park, you can also get a scavenger hunt of where photo passes can be found
Well,
throughout the
that's
parks.
new.
That's new too. I know. I thought
Is
that
that
of
a
all the
handout
things.
they gave you, or what did they give you exactly?
So I don't know if it's a handout. I was told this by a cast member on my way out the
Okay.
door, and I was like, the first thing I'm doing tomorrow is
Yes,
going
I
to
can't wait to
see
hear
if they
about that.
have it.
Let's talk about it because that sounds really cool. Love that, Galaxy's Edge, here's what you can do. Commissary Lane, you can meet some characters. Echo Lake, that's where the Vacation Fun Short is, and you can meet Olaf. It's good across the board. I really, really like that.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely great. I love these little maps. Love that they have it. And I'm back.
Yeah, I'm gonna send us back to Goofy Core Hall. So let's talk a little. This is Communicore Hall, Communicore Plaza. This is what was Flower and Garden, which last week we talked about it closing a little early. But this
Yeah.
looks like a kids' dance party, activity party. This looks pretty cool.
That's exactly what it is. You can do some goofy sock limbo. Don't touch his dirty socks hanging on the clothesline. Oh, okay. The parachute, Sam. Now,
Yes.
when I was a kid, it was a giant parachute and everybody would run in the middle. I don't know if they're letting you run in the middle because I can see that only lasting about 3 days before two kids collide
Oh yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
bad. And then they're
Yeah,
like,
that
no
could be.
kids running under the
This is
parachute.
just dancing with Goofy. This is
It is, and they have a DJ set up, a giant DJ booth you can
right
see
in the
back
middle.
there. They're playing different games. They have the Goofies out there all the time. Another thing that is really cool. Plus, they have the little outdoor kitchen that they have a menu for. It's just, I don't know, man. I like that.
So I
There's
did not see.
So you can still see the Encanto show is still playing,
Okay.
and yeah, there you go.
And now you have Goofy Core Hall, but there's no kitchen inside of that, and the festival
No.
kitchens are stopping. Although the kitchen, or I forget what it's called because it changes names for every festival. The kitchen that's outside in Communicore Plaza near the Encanto stage,
Yep.
I assume that is still opened with some type
Yeah, that's
of
open 20. That's
non-festival
open every day. Yeah,
Yeah, so
non-festival
that's
and
like
everything.
it's pretzels. It's just a stand that happens to be there that sells. You can get a beer, you can get a pretzel, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to studios
find
because
out.
that's, my friend, where you want to talk about a whole lot of things,
Oh.
starting with Get Animated in the Animation Courtyard. Cool Kid
Yeah, I
Summer
didn't know
is
where to
here.
start on this one, man. There is, look,
It's awesome.
I'm gonna be very nice about this because I have to. I don't have to be, but I'm going to be because I like this so much. There is so many characters over there. There is so
Yes.
much for kids to do that this absolutely feels like Disney World should feel to a child. If I was a child, I want to go see characters. I want to dance with Goofy. I want to dance with Mickey. I want to see my Disney Junior pals.
Yep.
These characters come out and do not stop, Sam. Like it is character. Oh, Donald needs a breather. Donald always goes back and gets a sip of drink and he's right back out with the kids.
So
and this is from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m.
So let's set the stage because this is all of Animation Courtyard,
Yes.
including inside of the Playhouse Disney stage, which is now Get Animated, and it's a DJ party. So these characters are all over all of this.
They are all over all of this. There is a few characters that do not go outside, but some will move in and out. Like Max Goof will move in and out from inside to outside. Pluto may also move from inside to outside. But inside you have Mickey Mouse, Doc McStuffins, Vampirina, Fancy Nancy, Timon, and of course Mickey Mouse. And it's not just any old Mickey Mouse.
That's where I was going.
It is Roadster Racers Road Road Racers. I always
It's
mess this
Mickey
up.
Mouse.
Holly.
It's Mickey Mouse from Mickey Mouse and the Roadster Racers. That's the
Thank
show
you.
that's on Disney Plus or on Disney Junior. That's the Mickey that I want to dance with because that's the Mickey that I'm watching every week on TV whenever I'm watching it if I'm a youngster. So I love
Dude,
that
not only
Mickey.
that, but if you are staying at a Disney resort and on their TV at their bedtime stories is this book. Like,
Yes.
and it is
Mickey and the
played
Roadster
multiple
Racers.
times, and Rory and I have watched it so many times for no reason as adults, and we love it. So seeing him
Yeah.
dance out there, I was like, that's great. And there's
Yeah.
Simba. I mean, not Simba. Timon. Did I say
Timon
Simba? I
in
meant
there as
Timon.
well, and there's Mickey and the DJ
Yeah.
inside. Looks like some beach
Yeah, I mean,
balls.
they
They do
redid
some
they didn't redo a lot, but they added a beach vibe to it. They got the Get Animated colors in there. It's much brighter. Look, Mickey's just there's Vampirina back there. You can see
I see
Pluto's
that. Yeah.
back there, the back of Doc McStuffin's head. These
Yep,
characters
I do
don't
see
stop,
that.
my friend.
That's awesome. If that's what you're in for, that is awesome. Now, across the way over there, because we're getting to the fact that 2 new stage shows opened and you got to experience those both, but also the store in character, I think is what it's called. That store, which was the exit of the Little Mermaid attraction, is reopened. It's a princess slash Minnie
Yes.
Mouse slash
Yep.
Daisy Duck. It's a little girl absolute heaven, is what that is.
It is Get Animated. It is outside of the Little Mermaid that opened the day before Mermaid officially opened, which was Tuesday. We're only 2
Tuesday,
days
the
into this. Like
27th.
that thing just opened up yesterday,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, if they're selling Little Mermaid merch, Disney Princess stuff, Mickey and Pals, that's it. And that's what you see in that courtyard. So there you
Absolutely
go.
it is. Yeah, you got Chip and
Dale
Dale
are out
outside
there.
in the
So
courtyard.
you have different shows that are going on out in the courtyard. You have
So tell me about that
magicians.
because I saw this image and I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
there's a guy with a microphone that's got a bunch of ice cream cones in front of him
Yeah,
with
and Goofy's
Goofy. I'm thinking this is
drooling,
part of
man.
some kind of a skit.
It is. He is a magician, and he is he
Oh,
makes the ice cream disappear, and you're like, I could make ice cream disappear a whole
I
lot quicker
could,
too.
but it's also 100 degrees out and the sun is shining, so I don't think it's
Yes.
too hard to make ice cream disappear. But
So
okay.
each character will get involved in whatever skit's going out there. So Donald and Goofy were together originally doing a skit with the magician who was out there. Goofy worked with these guys. Goofy was part of the Double Dutch Jump Ropers. A
Okay.
magician played over with Clarabelle Cow. The other characters with Daisy would just walk by and start interacting with some of these characters. There was street performers basically all over the place. And again, it doesn't stop. It's once one is done, all of a sudden in another part of the courtyard, somebody will come strolling out, set up a rope, and they're performing for the kids. And you can just wander around
There's
that
a
courtyard
lot of
seeing stuff.
space there. Looking at some of these images, Greg's, I'm reminded of how much space is there.
There is a lot of space, and they're filling that space. Especially, there is not an issue, and I don't want to make it sound like that, but when Little Mermaid lets out, it lets out right into that courtyard.
Of course
So
it does.
once
Yes.
in a while, that courtyard all of a sudden becomes like every 20 minutes massively packed.
Well, and that's because Little Mermaid is probably full shows right now because that's
Yes.
new. Is
528 people, I think, it fit in those theaters.
okay. Is One Man's Dream doing the same thing and emptying out, or not as many people?
Yeah,
in
it still empties out right by the bathrooms in that courtyard, and it still empties out. But I think there's a total of I think I can count on my one finger how many people are seeing that show.
Yeah, I would not think that that's. But Little Mermaid, because it's so new, I would
Yeah.
expect that all the
80-minute waits. It was packed. We'll talk about that in a second.
Let's get
but,
to let's get to that. I did want to.
Yeah, Clarabelle Cow.
Thing
Here, so I wanted to talk about Clarabelle Cow. Clarabelle is
Yes.
not walking around the courtyard, and she's not really meeting and greeting guests. What she's doing is she walks over, and you can see there is little tables. Then there's some benches that are set up. Then there's some larger picnic tables. Each one of them has these Disney Junior Let's Play, and they are coloring pages. They have crayons and everything set up for you to play and for you to draw. That's where Clarabelle Cow will just come over and sit with your kid, or if you're a big kid, will sit with you and hang out and color with you.
That's
It
cool.
is the coolest thing ever, Sam, to just be sitting there, and next thing you know, Clarabelle Gal comes over, and then a magician's, like, doing magician tricks with you and Clarabelle Cow, and you're going, "What is my life? I get paid to do this? This is so weird. I love this."
That's really cool. Now, the one thing I noticed here, this Disney
Yes.
Junior Let's Play sort of coloring sheet fan on a stick
Right.
immediately reminded me of the old school Epcot masks that my kids would
Yeah.
draw on 20 years ago. So that was sort of a flashback. But Greg, I also look at this and I go, okay, on this card, I see Mickey and Minnie, one of the
Yeah.
Super Kitties, and I
Yup.
see Bluey. Is
Bum,
that one of
bum,
the
bum,
first times we've
bum.
seen Bluey actually in a park on a coloring page?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing maybe, but clearly Bluey, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and Super Kitties are the 3
Yeah,
properties
so
that they're
not only
pushing
that, but
here.
that is the logo for the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse that is premiering soon, where Duffy and Luna Bell are making an appearance as part of the new cast of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, that is the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse logo, and that is Bluey, and we know that Disney Junior Play and Dance is closed until September 2nd or 3rd. Is it going to come back with new characters, and one of them being a blue dog?
We could potentially put some money on that. All right, let's talk about shows. You, my friend, got to see both of these shows. You got into
Yeah, let's
Villains
talk about Villains
Unhappily Ever
first.
After. Let's go ahead and I'll let you take control of some of the things happening here if you would like
Yeah,
to.
so I'm going to add to I'm going to remove why can't I add to the stage?
Yeah, good. There, you should be able to now.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Look. So we cannot show any of the beginning, please, just so everybody knows.
So this is so that for anyone listening, Greg is showing us an image inside of the theater for Villains Unfairly Ever After. And Greg, tell me about the seating. Tell me about the setup before we talk about the actual show.
Let me let just some of this go a little bit. We won't watch too much of it. You can hear me over the music, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, look, this is great. You have a new theater that is in there, and it is where Lightning McQueen,
Racing Academy.
whatever
was.
Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Racing Academy.
Yeah, so they have now seating for over 500 guests inside, and
So
it is
are you
really
sitting in a so clearly the
a real
benches are
seat.
gone. It's a
No
real seat, a
benches.
real
These
rows.
are
They brought a theater in.
comfortable rows, and there is the center row, and then there's 2 outside seating sections.
Two outside
and-
seating sections? What do you mean outside?
Out like there's a center section, and then you have your left orchestra and right orchestra, if you will.
Okay, I understand. I wasn't sure what you meant.
I mean,
at first. Now I understand.
Technical on that, but yeah. So here's your plot. I mean, look, you are one of many different Disney villains, and you want to have the audience decide who is the most misunderstood of them all. And it comes down to, I do believe, Maleficent, Hook, or Cruella.
Okay.
And at the end of the show, you get to decide which one you think, as the audience, is the most misunderstood villain of them all. And by your clapping, you choose who is the winner or loser. And I've already seen 2 different characters win, so there is definitely 3 endings to the show.
Okay, so this is
Tons.
so kind of like
7.5
they are giving you they're telling you their story. This is why I misunderstood. And then
Yes.
you go, okay, I get it. Next. And then you vote. And the show actually changes based on who wins.
Yes, and there is some brilliant scenery changes. There's not a lot of like in-person characters, but there is a plenty of characters that appear, and I'm trying to find some of it. Characters will appear in these windows that you see. Hopefully,
The moving windows that are moving around the stage.
There is Hades for you on your left window.
Are those windows all powered by the magic mirror? Are they
Yes,
mirrors? Are they
the
windows?
magic mirror
Okay.
will go into every single one of them.
Okay.
So you can see how technical this is with set moving and stuff. Like, look how many characters are popping up on your screen right now. It doesn't
It looks
stop.
like the list that I read about on Fantasyland News.
Yeah. So there is 54 characters or so, I
Wow.
believe. You can watch the whole video minus the first 3 minutes. YouTube will not allow us to put the first 3 minutes
That's fine.
on or we get thrown off. But yeah, so this new show, the theater is great. It's air conditioning. They have the villains area out front looks better. There's new magic shots that's available out there.
Awesome.
Trying to think of what else is out there. I mean,
You
look,
mentioned new merchandise. Do you have that nearby by
I
any
do.
chance?
Here, let me stop that screen for 1 second, and I
Of
have
course.
the new merch I can bring up right now for you. If
Yes.
I just have to scroll up a little bit. It was a long day. There's many pictures in my oh, there it is. I
Of
got
course there are.
it.
Oh, you found it? Good.
Yeah. I just have to share right now. All right, present, share screen, and there we are. Share.
No, it's coming. You're fine. You're fine. There we go. Okay. So this is a cart. Oh, did they? Is in the Rock and Roller Coaster Courtyard, or this is
This
over in
is in the
front
Rock
of
and Roller
Villains?
Coaster Courtyard, but also
Okay.
in Once Upon a Dream, the shop on Hollywood Boulevard. You can get it there.
Once
So
Upon a
you have this
Dream.
one.
Okay.
Let's see, left to right, left to right. There it is. There's the new T-shirt up close.
That, by the way, is great. I
It is.
This merchandise is really nice.
Sam, I'm telling you, $39.99 with an annual pass holder discount, $32. I don't buy merchandise, Sam, and I bought
Yeah,
this shirt.
it looks good. I mean, the
I
shirt looks great. There's some
instantly.
mirrors. There are some mugs.
There's the
There's
new
the
tumbler, and the
These things look
colors
great.
look great. That is the
The
new ornament that
purple
looks
to the
mirror.
green to the
Yeah,
chin. Some magnets. So there's your magnet.
yeah.
It's the mirror and the 3 main villains that this thing's all
Yep.
about.
And then
Really
I'm
cool
gonna
T-shirt.
stop sharing for 1 sec because I do want to pull up. I do have a video or 2 of Mermaid that I
Okay.
will can share
Well,
with
let's take
us
a look.
somewhere.
So tell me about the
Uh,
weight for both of these. Are they part of Fast Pass Multi? Are they, or I'm sorry,
all right.
Lightning Lane
So,
Multi?
yeah,
Give me the
let's
details.
let's discuss a little bit about that because it is supposed to be Lightning Lane and DAS acceptable. Was not happening the first 2 days.
Okay, it's something they got to
No
work
Lightning
through. I'm
Lane,
going to assume
no DAS, no nothing. Something was not right on it.
something wasn't
Um,
working. I'm going to assume,
yeah.
or it was just first couple of days you have to wait.
Yep. Mermaid. Let's talk a little bit about Mermaid. While I will rave up and down about how great Villains is, I think Mermaid is very well done. I think you are seeing Disney Live Entertainment and Walt Disney Imagineering upping their game on what a live presentation can be. Way more technical aspect of things. Mermaid, there's 2 or 3 characters in there that I hope one day to meet. I really need to meet the puppets, the
Okay.
flamingo puppet, and
Okay.
Eric and the dog.
Okay.
Are awesome.
Which are new.
Sebastian
These are
puppet
brand new
is
puppets.
awesome. Brand new puppets. The puppetry's great. One of the things that we have a problem with when you and I are recording stuff, we normally have a stage directly to look at, and the lights make it look great, and we know how to record.
Yeah.
The new stuff has screens that they are projection mapping on top of what's going on in front
Yes.
of the stage, which makes it harder to get a good, viable picture of what's happening on
Well,
the
it
actual
throws
stage.
focus off is what it
Yes.
does, because an automatic focus is gonna focus in on the scrum that you're projecting onto.
Yes. So there is issues trying to get good video and audio out of no, not
Okay.
audio, but good video. But I want to
Sure.
play a few seconds of just various things.
Yeah, yeah.
Your voice is so
Very cool. So a huge very cool.
It really is very cool. One second, let
So
me just bring up
I'm
this
noticing
other
a lot
one
of
because look.
digital
I
effect
recorded
in both of these.
puppets.
Okay.
Oh, tons. But this, the puppetry,
Oh, I see what we're talking about here. Yeah, clearly.
yeah. But you can look in the background, like there's her sisters back there
Yes, I
dancing,
see that.
and yeah, and there's practical effects throughout all of this. It's practical meets digital. It's projection mapping. It's screens. It's bubbles. It's everything you would want it to be. It's the Ursula or animatronic makes a return, which has been missing since 2020. I mean,
When
they
I
brought
look
back
at it
a lot of good stuff about this show.
from what I've seen, Greg, I see plussing the show that had previously been there. So we know that there were a lot of digital puppets and black lights used in the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. And it appeared in this that
Right.
there was less use of black light and lots of people with digital puppets and more digital representations of those characters around the live performances, which sort of blended together. So it appeared that what used to be someone holding a stick that had 6 fish on it and they would move it around and all the fish would kind of dance together, right? They had them like this and you kind of could tell what they were doing. And occasionally someone would take a picture with a flash and you would see the performer in their black suit back there doing it. It appears
now
that those things have been replaced with digital.
Is projecting a lot of those characters, and then in the background you see some of the puppetry. And Ariel goes from and I mean she technically swims around the stage at a few points.
That's pretty cool because that is not something they had done previously. She was just in one spot and never moved.
Right. I mean, look, what you're looking at is 18 minutes of a show. You're trying to push an hour and 20 minutes into 18 minutes. So it's a best of. It is hit.
Yep, and that does result in some plot holes.
Oh, massive plot holes.
Pointed out. But I don't
look,
know
we go in and
anybody
judge these things.
seeing
You know
this
what I'm saying?
for the first time right here, right?
Right. As much as I love, I'm just happy these shows are back. I mean,
so I want to ask you for both of these.
Let's go real crowds on this real quick.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
It opened yesterday at 9 a.m. We were in there at 8:15 in line. And they were like, listen, we're going to open it now. We're going to put a show on in 5 minutes. Go get a seat. And so they allowed the first crowd to walk in there. We were in the first showing of all time for the crowds.
Yep, the first public viewing.
By the time we left that show, it was 8:45. So the park wasn't even open yet, and it was already at a 60-minute wait.
So it was 8:45. The first show was supposed to be at 9. So was that when did they start yours? At like 8:30 they started a show?
8:20. Yeah,
8:20. All right, I'm trying to see. So all right, the 9 o'clock show, there was a 9, then a 10, then an 11, and then
9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30.
First day, of course. All right, so they're doing
No, that's how it's going to be.
Okay.
That's the times. It's continuous showings. I mean, what they're saying is that's what it's going to be.
Well, and that's what the Little Mermaid was. Then the Voyage of the Little Mermaid sometimes would close a little earlier than some other things because that whole area would close. There was also a time when they closed those attractions because they were doing things like big time fireworks in that park that necessitated them to close some of those things. They don't do that anymore. There is no Star Wars Galactic Spectacular.
Yeah, you're not getting it. The crowds capped off, I think it was 200-minute wait at one point.
Wow.
It was in demand. That was opening day.
Of course it is. It's opening day, and I'm sure. And remember, they tried to balance that by having 2 shows open on the same day.
And they did a great job. You were able to get both shows in on opening day. It's not like you couldn't see them. Were there glitches? Of course. But by today, it was running smoother. And by tomorrow, it'll even be smoother. You don't have everybody racing there like it is day one. So from
It'll
now
be back
on,
to Racing to Rise Resistance or Rock and Roller Coaster
right.
or Slink Dog, whatever you're
And
going.
I will rope drop Disney villains.
I understand you like it that much, but I'm also thinking a person that didn't necessarily know those things were happening. That's where's everybody going, and they take off for a Slink Dog, and everybody else goes to the right. And where's
I
everybody
think you
going?
had a lot of that yesterday too. I don't know. Look, we tried to do our job of getting this information out to everybody, and you can still tell there's a lot of people who don't know what's going on all the time. So hence why we can all have these jobs is and do this and love it is because you're still reaching new audiences all the time.
Absolutely, and that's great. All right, let's move on. Cool Kids Summer is awesome. There's also, don't forget the water park ticket that you get the day that you show up during the summer. Greg mentioned before, there are things happen at the resorts. There's lots of stuff going on. Let's now introduce a new segment. We're going to skip Greg's. In fact, I was going to call it Greg's Epic Minute and allow it to be popcorn buckets because that is your epic thing, but we'll get back to that. But it's Greg's popcorn bucket corner because there's lots going on. And if you haven't been watching fantasylandnews.com, you don't know some of them. So tell me about these buckets and more importantly, where they are going, because these are not all at Disney parks. Although we should mention there's a new popcorn blend coming to Magic Kingdom for Starlight Dream. What's the tagline? I forget now.
Dream the night away.
Thank you. There's a new blend of popcorn available up at the confectionery where they do all the drizzle on top of popcorn and the candy. And talk about glistening.
And by the way, the new one is Star-Kissed mix of bubblegum and blue raspberry candy popcorn, M&M's milk chocolate candies, mini marshmallows, and white chocolate drizzle. Disney Starlight popcorn.
I am still waiting, and you know what I said, Greg. Where's the bucket that it's going to be served in? Because
where's the bucket, Sam? You're preaching to the choir, my friend. I am listening. Hallelujah. Where's the bucket?
All right, tell me about the Ilio buckets. Yes.
I'm going to keep this PG, Sam. Do you remember the Dune popcorn bucket?
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, it's very Dune-y. This one's close. It got close. If they would have just left his mouth open with all the teeth, we would have had the Dune Part 2. But no,
I got it.
That, my friend, is Glorden. He is Ilio's best friend and son of Gordon, who is the ruler of this planet.
Okay.
Glorden, it's hard to say. I messed myself up. Is now a popcorn bucket for Disney's Ilio. We now know that 100% this popcorn bucket is available online at Marcus Theaters. You can order it now.
Marcus Theaters.
Marcus Theaters, which is also known as Movie Tavern, which we had up north.
Okay. I don't recall it, but okay.
Movie Tavern was great. They had what do you call those? Theater ninjas. They would just pop up with food and they'd be like, here's your food.
Oh, yeah.
Blink away. Most comfortable theater I've ever been in was a Movie Tavern by Marcus Theaters. So yeah, there's new popcorn buckets for Ilio. Fandango, as of right now, I literally was just watching it. They just announced that this popcorn bucket will be coming to a lot of theaters. Doesn't say exactly which ones, but it is coming. Along with
and one is a Gordon or whatever you called it, a bucket, and then there's another kind of golden bucket, which is a bucket with popcorn.
Yep. So Glorden holds about 100 ounces of popcorn. It does light up.
Damn, that's a lot of popcorn.
It's a lot of popcorn. And then this bucket is 120 ounces of popcorn.
Holy cow, those are the extra largest. Okay. That's your first set of buckets. Let's move
Ilio.
on to the next.
$29.99, by the way. If anybody is looking for that one, go to Marcus Theaters. If not, check out Regal, Cinemark, or AMC Theaters. It should be coming any day now.
Okay, speaking of Cinemark, Jurassic World
we have Cinemark
Rebirth.
and Regal in front of us. Jurassic World Rebirth by Universal Pictures. The new Jurassic Park movie opens up this July 2nd, and they've already released the T-Rex popcorn bucket, and then the one next to is the dual incubator popcorn bucket combo pack, which has a sipper attached and the popcorn bucket, and they are one as a
Wait, they're
dual
attaching a
incubator.
sipper to the popcorn bucket? Oh,
Yeah,
man. Talk
and it
about a
does look
whole
cool.
marketing opportunity.
Yeah, and then they also have a T-Rex footprint that is coming to AMC. Look at that. So you can get the head and the foot. You just need the body and the leg.
So the foot is the popcorn is served inside of that indentation? Is that what
Yeah.
this is?
Yup.
Okay, sure.
That's what it is.
All right, let's head back to Disney
Now,
because there was
what we missing is How to Train
Okay.
Your Dragon popcorn buckets have been showing up in theaters, which is
I
one of
didn't
Universal
see it on
Pictures.
fantasylandnews.com.
Oh, it's there, my friend.
All right,
It's
I just
there.
missed it.
It was below
just
the
missed it.
Jurassic Park ones. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon popcorn buckets are now out. Go to Fantasyland News, read all about it, and they are slowly popping up in all the movie theaters.
What this is Lilo and Stitch. I believe that is a sipper on the
That is
left-hand
a
side, the
sipper.
image we're looking at.
Yep.
Is that available in Disney World? Where can this be picked
No,
up?
so that is
Or-
Disneyland and Disneyland
Ah.
Paris. So that
Yeah,
did not make its way
Disneyland.
to Disney World, but that's okay. Look, Disneyland, you deserve something. So it's Stitch with Scrump. It is part of the sips and treats for Lilo and Stitch hit movie theaters. Like we have all the snacks down here, Disneyland has the same thing. The only difference is Disneyland and Disneyland Paris get the Stitch and Scrump sipper.
Yeah. All right. With that rounds up. We're right at time again. So you know what that
Yeah.
means.
It
Time
must be
for a
Muppet Magnet Month.
It must be Magnet Magnet. It
Yes.
must be Muppet
It-
Magnet
it's
time,
that.
and the Muppet Magnet for 40 of 70 is none other than Sweetums.
It's got to be Sweetums.
I'm fine with this. He was
I'm
number
fine
10
with
in my top 10.
I love this one. They just keep getting better every week. And I look at my fridge, and my fridge is a Muppet magnet. It's just 40 of these magnets, and plus I got the round one, so it's 41 of them. It's a lot of magnets, my friend.
That is a lot of magnets.
I mean, look, Friday they're going to be dropping a new one. We'll make sure we get that. But yeah, I like Sweetums here. Speaking of next week and Muppets, my friend.
Yes.
We have 9 days left of the Muppets Courtyard.
Yes.
So
what does it mean, my friend?
Well, it means I'll be over at Hollywood Studios a heck of a lot. Going to see the Muppets for the final time. That's what it means. And we're going to have to talk a little bit about the Muppets next week, because I don't want to do a they closed kind of thing. I'd rather talk about all the good times we've had.
Well, let's plan on that. If not next week, the week after. But June the 4th is next Wednesday. We'll be back then. I believe the last day for the Muppets is the 9th of June. Is that right?
8th.
The
No,
8th.
7th.
Okay.
The 7th, I believe.
So that's the
8th
Friday
closes.
after our next show.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so we do also know that they are going to keep it open one extra day for cast members only on the 10th. So yeah, I guess the 9th is the 9th or 10th. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, as always, you can get Sam at samsdisneydiary.com, Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram, or of course, if you're watching on YouTube, Sam's Disney Diary. You can get me at fantasylandnews.com, Fantasyland News blog on Instagram, and of course, if you're watching on YouTube, it's Fantasyland News. And on that note, Sam, that's enough popcorns and villains and mermaids. I'm saying end of line.
End of line. Congaloosh. Thanks everyone for being with us. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast, you can always find the video equivalent, but we did our best to kind of describe what the heck it is we're talking about. See you June the 4th, Wednesday night, same time, same location. And I don't have an outro video queued up. What did I do here, Greg? Okay, now I do. It's ready to go. We'll see you next week.